O Mother Nui, stretch high above this valley. Your starry body is our glory. Then see the hawk of yonder Rahur quit, his fiery splendor, oh so mighty. He brings a light for all our weary souls. He makes the broken spirit whole.
Welcome to today's deep dive. Imagine downloading a brilliant, just incredibly powerful operating system.
Right. Something that can do amazing things.
Yeah, but the user manual you get is completely broken. Actually, it reads like it was written by a rival developer who actively hated the software.
And they just want you to crash your computer.
Exactly.
Ah.
Well, that broken user manual is exactly what the English-speaking world got when A.E. Waite translated Eliphas Lévi's masterwork on Magick back in the 1850s.
Yeah, it was a total disaster.
So today we are decoding the real operating system. We're using John Michael Greer's upcoming April 2026 book, The Great Arcanum. It's this 332-page commentary that basically rescues the true mechanics of modern magic.
It really rescues it from, over a century of historical sabotage.
Yeah.
Because Waite's 1896 translation just filled the text with these condescending footnotes.
Oh, yeah.
He actively misled readers about Lévi's core ideas. It's pretty wild.
So, okay, Waite obviously ruined the translation, but why was he so actively hostile to the source material in the first place?
Well, it really comes down to Waite having a very strict sort of Protestant-leaning worldview.
Yeah.
He completely failed to understand Lévi's subversive dialectic.
Which was what, exactly?
Basically, Lévi argued that Roman Catholicism was actually the secret, legitimate carrier of ancient Jewish Kabbalah.
Wait, really? Because historically, Catholicism and Kabbalah are totally distinct things.
Right. I mean, on the surface, they definitely are.
Yeah.
But Lévi believed the Catholic Church had unwittingly preserved the underlying, energetic structures of Kabbalistic magic within its sacraments.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So to Lévi, the elaborate rituals, the incense, the vestments, the rhythmic chanting, they weren't just religious worship.
They were functional.
Exactly. He saw them as highly engineered mechanisms to manipulate consciousness and unseen energies. So he thought they were hiding true magic in plain sight. But Waite just thought Lévi was being hypocritical, so he undermined the whole text.
That's fascinating. But Lévi's original French was notoriously dense anyway, right? So was Waite just a bad translator, or was Lévi actively trying to confuse people too?
Oh, Lévi absolutely laid traps. Greer uncovers the full extent of this structural obfuscation. Lévi didn't just write a book. He built a structural lock.
Like a puzzle.
Exactly. The text has exactly 22 chapters of theory, which he called dogma, and 22 chapters of ritual.
And those numbers aren't random.
No, not at all. They map perfectly to the 22 major arcana of the tarot and the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet.
So the table of contents itself is this massive occult puzzle.
Yeah. If you just read it sequentially, from page 1 to the end, you get nowhere. You're completely lost.
Wow.
Greer reveals that to unlock the system, you have to read it interlocked. So you pair Theory Chapter 1 directly with Ritual Chapter 1.
So he intentionally hid the curriculum to weed out anyone lacking the necessary rigor. Well, if Lévi deliberately locked the theory behind this 22-chapter puzzle, what exactly was he trying to protect? What happens when you actually put these paired chapters into practice?
So you have to move away from the idea of literal alchemy, turning lead into gold in a physical crucible.
Right. It's not a literal chemistry set.
No, not at all. You get into the mechanics of the Great Arcanum. Greer clarifies that the true operational force here is the absolute supremacy of sovereign willpower.
Okay.
And that focused will manipulates something Lévi called the astral light. It's this nagentropic sort of fluidic energy field operating as nature's etheric blueprint.
Okay, so it's less like casting a spell and more like applying a physical force. Looking at the sources, it's like an invisible universal Wi-Fi network, right?
That's a great way to put it, yeah.
Because it says it gets heavily refracted by metals, but is readily absorbed by organic matter. It sounds like the astral light is wet clay, and the human will is the kiln.
Yes.
You're using pure focus to permanently harden an energetic shape into reality.
Exactly. Your willpower acts as the heat. It organizes and structures that raw etheric blueprint against the natural flow of entropy.
Makes sense.
But this is also where the strict requirement for balance comes in. The system demands an absolute equilibrium of severity and mercy.
How does that translate mechanically, though? If you're acting as the kiln, what does an unbalanced will look like?
Think of it in terms of modern psychology. Unbalanced severity, which is like pure obsessive focus without adaptability. It leads to rigidity, cruelty, or just psychological burnout.
You overheat the clay and it cracks.
Right. On the flip side, unbalanced mercy, where you're lacking boundaries or discipline, means you never hold focus long enough to shape anything at all.
The clay just stays mush.
Exactly. So when you strip away the 19th century superstition, Greer is actually describing a highly systematic psychological discipline.
Which really brings it back to you, the listener. It makes these psychological mechanics entirely relevant to how you focus your own willpower today.
It really does. It's incredibly practical once you decode it.
So here's something to ponder as we wrap up today's deep dive. If this negentropic astral light genuinely acts as a universal builder's blueprint, one that physically reacts to focused willpower, how much of your everyday physical reality is just a solidified reflection of humanity's collective unconscious intent? Are we all just blindly writing the code for our own operating system without even realizing it?